When CONMEBOL agreed to move the second leg of the Copa Libertadores final, South America's equivalent of the UEFA Champions League, to Madrid, they not only solved an immediate logistical problem, but they also opened a door that could prove difficult to close. By taking the final, a high-octane fixture between Buenos Aires rivals River Plate and Boca Juniors, to one of the capitals of European football, they were also raising the profile of the competition. The game, which had been repeatedly postponed because of civil disturbance, probably benefited from the negative publicity, even if Argentinian football was tainted by its inability to stage what many people were calling the final to end all finals. There's no doubt the Copa Libertadores has the potential to become a global event that could enhance the image of South American club football and deliver multiple commercial sporting opportunities. The competition, established in 1960, has had a checkered history, but it's among the world's top footballing events. Yet outside South America, the Libertadores is still relatively underexposed, despite the fact that Latin Americans are resident all over the world. For example, there are almost 200,000 Latin Americans in the UK, 275,000 Brazilians in Japan, and 250,000 Argentinians in Spain. The importance of Latin America's contribution to world football is unequivocal. Since 2005-06, every UEFA Champions League winning team has had at least one South American in their lineup, and that list is impressive. Lionel Messi, Neymar, Luis Suarez, Roberto Firmino, David Luiz, Marcelo, Diego Milito, Dante, and Kaká. Argentinian and Brazilian players are among the most nomadic in world football. According to the CIES Football Observatory, there are around 1,300 Brazilians playing in top-level football across major football leagues and 820 Argentinians. Footballers from South America have always been attracted abroad, predominantly for financial reasons but also to expand their horizon and opportunities. Brazil is a country with huge levels of poverty and an average monthly wage of $678. Argentina is even lower at $554. Global Sports Salaries claims that the average first-teamer's annual wage in Brazil is $670,000, while in Argentina it's $379. Clubs have to sell their best players in order to generate cash, but players in Brazil are leaving their home country earlier than ever before. Neymar was 21 when he left Santos for Barcelona in 2013, but Vinicius was just 18 when he joined Real Madrid from Flamengo in 2018. So why do they leave earlier? Well, firstly, clubs in Europe have very advanced youth structures within which young players can be nurtured. Economics demands that Brazilian and Argentinian clubs realise the value of their assets at the earliest opportunity, and all the top young players have agents and release clauses that leave very little bargaining power. Players from Latin America are keen to secure a move to football clubs in England, Portugal, Spain, and France, among others. With globalization making the world a smaller place and the ubiquitous presence of South American players among the top football leagues, the Copa Libertadores could demonstrate the global effect works in both directions. What better time to export the Libertadores and secure its elevation to a major worldwide audience? Football cities in Latin America are among the most fanatical in the world. As the 2018 Libertadores final showed, Buenos Aires is a fermenting hotbed of football. It has 36 stadiums with a capacity of 10,000 plus, more than any other city in the world. The final showed that, unfortunately, occasionally things can get out of hand. But a researcher at San Martin University, Diego Merzi, said that in Argentina there is a football culture in which violence is legitimate, and not just by the barras, but by everyone who attends. The popular image of Latin football fans, nevertheless, is of samba-dancing, drum-bashing, happy-go-lucky characters urging their team to play beautiful football, notably the Brazilians and their devotion to Jogo Bonito. There is no doubt that hosting the final in Madrid reminded people that world football is not just about the UEFA Champions League and FIFA World Cup. Coincidentally, in the summer of 2019, just a few months after River Plate beat their rivals Boca Juniors 3-1 in the Bernabeu Stadium, a string of players from Europe decided to move to clubs in Argentina and Brazil. These included very established and popular players such as Dani Alves, Rafinha, Daniele De Rossi, Juanfran, and Felipe Luis. Admittedly, all are at the veteran stage of their careers, but it was unusual for such a glut of big names to make the journey back to South America. Questions were asked about finance and how the clubs could afford players who earned big money in Europe. Alves, for example, is reputed to be earning the equivalent of €700,000 per month. Was this move a premeditated one, with players eyeing an opportunity to raise the image of South American football and, after the 2018 Copa Libertadores final, to be part of a positive growth cycle? Flamengo, one of Brazil's richest and most popular clubs, made an audacious bid to sign Mario Balotelli, but they couldn't agree terms. Nevertheless, the story demonstrated something is happening that could change the status quo. The gap between Europe and South America is something that has widened in recent years as the financial clout of Europe's elite has left clubs in Brazil and Argentina behind. Back in the 1960s and 70s, whenever Europe's champions met the Copa Libertadores winners, the South Americans were invariably either too tough or skilled for the European Cup winners. Some of the games were brutal, such as Celtic's clash with Racing Club and Manchester United's heated meeting with the Estudiantes. Since 2000 and the establishment of the FIFA Club World Cup, the multi-speed nature of world football has been highlighted by the lack of competitiveness. Only 4 times has the CONMEBOL representative won the competition, the last being Corinthians in 2012. At the same time, South America has also underperformed in the FIFA World Cup, with the last 4 tournaments being won by European countries. In fact, the last 8 finalists have included just one South American team, Argentina, in 2014. Given that South America is a collection of countries whose economies are still regarded as emerging markets, if the clubs want to become more competitive on the global stage, they may have to look to more developed economies for revenues. In other words, adopt the global franchise approach typified by Europe's top clubs. Now, there are some very, very big clubs in Brazil and Argentina with strong support bases and intense fans. This season's Copa Libertadores saw 3 of 2018's 4 semi-finalists reach the penultimate stage of the competition, including a repeat of the final, Boca Juniors versus River Plate. One Argentinian side is guaranteed to make it through to the 2019 final, and they will meet a Brazilian team as Grêmio, semi-finalists last year, are playing Flamengo in the other last 4 tie. This year's final will be a single game as opposed to the traditional 2-legged affair. It will be hosted in Santiago, Chile, as the move to a conventional one-off final does provide the opportunity for rich drama that can captivate an international audience. And we could see a very different approach to the final this year, with more interest from outside of South America. The benefits would be manifold: revenues for the region, TV income, enhancement of club global reach, and a shop window for players. Not only that, the Copa is one of the biggest club competitions in the world, so let's see it reach out to a global audience. And it's time for the world to become more acquainted with South America's top football clubs.